ESPN's Get Up, Mike Greenberg, who he thinks will win the AFC North this year.
I also will take Cleveland, and Dominique, I will disagree with you. I think they have a lot of sure things on their roster. Yes, some of the additions they make might make them better, but by the end of last season, I thought they were a team that was ready to go to the Super Bowl last year, and they should get better based upon that, based upon familiarity in the system and the addition of Odell Beckham. You keep telling me they're going to be better with Odell on that offensive side. If they are, I think they might be the best team in the entire AFC.
Let's bring back in Ellis Williams. Ellis, 3 of the 4 national folks think the Browns will beat the Ravens. I think that's going to be really interesting. I think the Ravens are a really good football team, and I think the Browns are right there with them.
Yeah, it's a loaded division, and it always has been, and now the Browns are in that upper echelon with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be a division that comes down to the end of the year, really how these two teams are playing after Thanksgiving. I would expect advise Browns fans to be patient through the month of September, especially with that Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. connection. This is a team that understands that it's a war of attrition. Their 2 best defensive players, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, are guys that they need rushing the passer at their best come November and December, and not so much in September and October. So it's going to be a slow build to when teams need to start playing their best. And the Browns have one of the best rosters in football. It was talked about all offseason. It remains true. Just to play a little devil's advocate, if we're saying, how could this go wrong? Not saying it will, but it's just important to acknowledge all possibilities, right? The Browns were 7-2 in one-score games a year ago. Again, I mentioned the top heaviness of their pass rush. Jadeveon Clowney is a guy who has a history of not staying healthy. If they lose him, Tack McKinley is still not around the team. It becomes a position that you see that they didn't address in the draft, and that might come back to hurt them. And then the number 2 corner spot. We already talked about Greedy Williams and Greg Newsome. It's pretty obvious in Jacksonville that they're going to throw at whoever the number 2 corner is for the Browns, so that player's going to have to prove themselves quickly. And those are all things if it goes one way. The other way is that this roster functions at all parts. The names play like they're stars, and you're looking at a Browns team that wins the AFC North and then can get to an AFC Championship game quite possibly, and then on to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the thing I would say is keep your ear out. The Browns have a loaded roster. There's a lot of depth. They may make some trade. It won't be for a marquee name defensive end, but they may try to get that third guy in the rotation that gives them some insurance in the event Tack McKinley can't come back and do what he needs to do as well. So that's just something to keep an eye on as you get near cut down day.